Welcome at Media City Bergen. We are running the STADIEM pitching contest tonight. Maybe here are some people in the room that even don't know what STADIEM is. So maybe a short introduction. STADIEM is in short for Startup-Driven Innovation in European Media. And this is what we are doing. We are running a 2 or 3 years program funded by the European Commission to connect European media corporates and European media startups to work together and helping the startups with some funding to get along and to drive better products innovation and foster the European media industry. The project is based on the principle of 4 innovation hubs working together. It's Media City Bergen, quite obviously, so that's why we're here today. It's VRT from Brussels with their Future Media Hub and Sandbox Hubs. It's Storytech / the Exit Academy from Tallinn in Estonia. And it's finally the Next Media Accelerator from Hamburg, where I'm from. My name is Christoph, by the way, if you want to ask any questions today. We are very happy to be here, and we are very happy to show you some startups. To give you an impression, we had roughly 200 applications from startups all over Europe that wanted to join the program and work with us and the corporates behind. Then there was a first selection phase down to 40. Now we are down to 16, and in the end, 4 will make it to the final pilot phase. But of these 16 startups, 8 are here live in presence today and want to show you what they are doing and want to pitch and want to win a prize. That's why we have this wonderful and on the same beautiful jury in the room, because today there will be no, to the startup's 3rd and 2nd prize, it's the winner takes it all, and it's a prize money can't buy, I can tell you already now. But please welcome our jury. I make it easy. Einar from Media City Bergen, our host for this event. Tanja representing Next Media Accelerator from Hamburg. Peter from VRT in Brussels, and Heikki from the Exit Academy in Estonia. So a very experienced jury when it comes to media and media innovation. That's nice. Having said that, I think, did I miss anything? No, everyone. So we do 8 pitches. It's 4 minutes pitch, 2 minutes Q&A. Then it's a change. There's a clock running down here. I have seen once I'm coming closer to the stage, time is running up. And after the event, there's a roughly 10 minutes break where the jury has to make a decision on the winner. So please stay here, stay around, that you won't miss when we hand over the excellent prize. Okay, let's go. First on stage, Smartocto.
Thanks. I'm here to tell you something really special today. And we've been working on it for years, and I'm really proud to show it today. I'm Eric van Eeswijk, CEO of Smartocto, and we are presenting Smartify, which I believe is the future of analytics. Let me present it to you. So this is basically Smartocto, the company. We are already the primary data systems in more than 200 newsrooms. We do a lot of real-time analytics, historical analysis, optimization, like headline testing, for example. So we know a lot about the impact of stories and where stories are going and how they are evolving. But we wanted to take it to the next level. So we are already predicting a lot of the impact of stories, right? So we are predicting where stories go, how much impact they will have, and we are even prescribing what the next editorial action should be. And how do we do that? By presenting notifications. For years now, we are calculating which stories should go to Facebook, which stories should be in the top of your newsletter or on your homepage, for example. And this is already really disruptive because it's not about insights, it's about taking action. But with Smartify, we are really disrupting ourselves a little bit here as well. Because we are not only predicting where the story is going, but also what the effect of the perceived action of the newsroom will be. This sounds complicated. Again, let me explain in simple detail. So this, for example, is the Smartocto toolbox where you can choose an action. You can say, I want to push in the app, I want to push in Facebook, for example, or put out a newsletter, for example. And you can choose an action, right? And you can ask Smartocto, what is the best candidate story to do this action? So this is like the top 3. You can choose within these 3 articles, and Smartocto really helps you and calculate what the best action there should be. And it even gets sometimes a bit smart on you. It says, this is like the 5th time today that you pushed in the app. Maybe you should sort of slow down a bit because your average is 4, right? We can do all kinds of stuff based upon historical data. So the small risk there, of course, is that it becomes a black box. And we in journalism, we in media, we don't like these black boxes. So we thought about that as well. So we built a notification manager where you can really set all the metrics, the timing, the receivers of the notifications yourself, and even the text of the notification. And we give that to you. It's real grip into your hands, and it translates your strategy into daily action. And in the next phase of the notification manager, it even says all these predictions, it gives you the predictions. And remember, the system also notifies you on if the editorial action has been taken, right? It sees the effectiveness of the newsroom. And this will work on any data setup. So it's no surprise that I consider this the next step in editorial analytics. It's taking insights to action, and I'm really excited to talk to you all about this. Thank you very much.
Questions from the jury?
I have one. Who do you see as your competitor?
Well, nobody in the world is currently doing this notification stuff. So we don't have any big competitor there. I think we are one of the first, or at least the first that I know of. So that's why I'm also in a hurry to sort of really innovate there, because we can sort of take the first mover advantage. Of course, in more traditional editorial analytics, we have competitors like Chartbeat or Parsley. There's a couple of big systems. You need to be extensively smart to do these editorial analytics, guys, because you have to do real data science and engineering. So there are not a lot of competitors in the normal editorial analytics space. But as you see on the Smartify stuff, I wanted to take it a step further and really sort of be the intelligence in other systems as well, right? So in there, we don't have any real competition yet.
Thanks. What's your cost of customer acquisition? How do you which process do you use for sales?
Well, we do all kinds of stuff, right? I'm a big believer, of course, we are content people, right? I'm a big believer in content marketing ourselves. We bring out a lot of great stories. We even are building an e-learning platform where we educate people on data, even set aside from our own systems, right? I'm a big believer in that. But we do all kinds of online sort of calls and campaigns and stuff like that. But I thoroughly believe in selling through knowledge. Bring value and people will appreciate you and will take a hard look at the system. So that's, I think, our primary approach. The fact I'm here in Norway, in the beautiful Norway, says that there are all kinds of other methods as well, right? Talking to people.
10 seconds left.
So what is your customer acquisition cost?
Well, that's a good question. It depends basically upon how big the customer is, right? So some of these big media companies, they can take a lot of time to sort of lock in. But I guarantee you that we are break even with the license in the first year, within the first year. And most of our licenses are longer than that even.
Oh, that's very cool.
Super, thank you.
You're welcome.
Next on stage, Aiconix from Hamburg. Viel Spaß.
Hello, thank you, everybody. We are Aiconix. My name is Luisa. I'm the Business Development Manager of Aiconix and the project leader of our STADIEM project. With our partners, we want to increase the recognition of dialect in spoken language. But let's start from the beginning and let me explain to you what Aiconix actually does and how does this fit with STADIEM. We run an AI platform where we can recognize the content of audiovisual files. Our most important feature is our speech-to-text feature. Understanding the content usually starts with recognizing every spoken word. This is a sample. For analyzing and recognizing each word in that sentence, we use multiple speech recognition models, as you can see here. And every model gives us a different accuracy for every word. So when there is even a model like model number 3, who is not good in recognizing every single word, it can be very important for us because it can add the punctuation. And the USP of our product is that our algorithm always finds the path for every single word with the highest accuracy. So this works very well when there is a person like Angela Merkel who speaks a high German. Here you can see an automated transcript. It's made by an AI. You see many black words and some blue words. The black words are 100% accurate from all models. Only with the blue words, the algorithm was not sure about, and he had to decide which model to prioritize. And when it comes to a person like Markus Söder, who is our Prime Minister of Bavaria, who speaks a kind of dialect and uses dialect words in his speeches, then the algorithm starts to struggle. And it gets even worse because when there is a person who speaks a very strong dialect, like the President of Austria, then we have a real problem. The algorithm is lost in a way. And this is a problem. Why? Because Europe is a continent of diversity. More than 50 languages are spoken by more than 1 million people each. And in Germany alone, we have so many different dialects. In the STADIEM program, we want to concentrate now on the Austro-Bavarian dialect, which is spoken by 14 million people. Our goal is to develop a speech recognition model for dialects, for that specific dialect. And it shouldn't be a standalone product, no. We want to develop a specific layer and add that layer into our platform so that our algorithm can understand dialect words and also find the highest accuracy for dialect phrases. On our side, we have strong partners like big TV broadcasting channels from Austria, the Austrian Parliament, the University of Vienna, and also a research institution. And for all of them, they see a big need on the market. It's very important to have that dialect recognition model. Because right now, there's no other solution to find on the market. So it has a big impact for them. And in the next 6 months, we want to roll up our sleeve, set up a technical framework, collect all the data, clean the data, cluster it, and hopefully, in the end of February, we want to have the Austrian-Bavarian dialect recognition model. And our goal is clear. We want to become the speech recognition platform for all languages and dialects in Europe. Thank you.
I have one.
Yeah.
I have one. So Austria has a lot of different dialects. So how do you deal with that? So it's not only one dialect, there are different kinds of.
Yeah, that's a good question. So right now, we are just collecting all the data. And then we have really to go through all the data and to focus on the Austro-Bavarian dialect only first. So the first concentration is Austro-Bavarian dialect, but then we want to extend and want to focus on more dialects and more dialects. And of course, Austria is the first country we want to focus on, but it's a project for Europe, so we want to concentrate on Europe too.
I have another question. If
Yeah.
you have that set up with Bavaria and Austria, how can you scale it to another country? Do you have to start from the scratch again?
We want to set up a guideline. We want to really have something hands-on so that we can give to other developers and other companies, and it's all about the data. The quality of data, the quantity of data, and when you have the data, I think you can extend it to other countries and you can have a whole package for dialects.
Can you tell me something about the team? Is it big enough to, let's say, make these plans work for whole Europe?
The team, it's not big enough, But we have support from our strong partners. For example, the research institution, they help us to go through the data, cluster it and clean it. Also the university, they are kind of consultants for us when it comes to the different dialects. And our partners, they give us the audio files and the transcripts, the TV broadcasting channels, they give us all the data they have. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Super. Thank you. Time is over. So one mic less. Let's see how that goes. Next on stage, Datavillage.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Quentin Felice, and I'm the co-founder of Datavillage, a startup based in Belgium with the mission to unlock the value of personal data for both the companies and their customers. With Datavillage, we aim to create a decentralized network of personal data that are directly sourced by the consumers themselves. First, let me give you a bit of context. Frederick, co-founder of Datavillage, and myself, we used to lead the IT innovation department of a big bank. But we were spending more time fighting with legal departments over getting access to personal data than doing our job, meaning innovation. Today, companies struggle big time when it comes to get access to third-party data, meaning the data the customers create by using other platforms. But they also struggle when it comes to combine this third-party data with their own data. And this is due to three main reasons. The first one is that enterprise architectures are built in silos, making it very difficult for the data to flow. The second is that we are in a more and more restrictive regulatory environment with privacy laws such as GDPR popping up everywhere in the world. And the third reason is that today people are very reluctant to share personal data since we had many scandals of privacy, such as the infamous Cambridge Analytica. And this is why we have created what we call the consumer-controlled digital profiles, meaning a virtual representation of the consumers that remains under the control and that shows who they are, what are their tastes, and what they would like to see or to have, based on the collection and organization of all the personal data that they create on a daily basis. We also give companies with a way to connect those digital profiles to their channels in order to hyper-personalize digital experiences and improve recommendation systems without having to collect the data in the system, and thus not having the hassle to be legally compliant with privacy laws. Today, we have developed use cases in different industries, such as HR, mobility, finance, or healthcare. But our main focus remains in the media industry, in which we are developing a use case of content recommendation, tailored content recommendation with RTBF and VRT, two TV broadcasters from Belgium. So the user experience goes as follows. As an end user, I arrive on the OTT platform of my TV broadcaster, and then I'm being given a personalized experience button, which I click on, and that opens what we call the end user's data passport, a way for the end user to connect its digital profile to the specific platform. Then, as an end user, I'm being asked to enrich my digital profile with other data sources, such as what I like on Facebook, what I listen to on Spotify, or what I watch on Netflix, for instance. This data doesn't go to the company. This data remains in my personal data store that I own as an end user, making it fully compliant and respecting my privacy. Then I give my consent for the recommender, for the recommendation system, to use my data to provide me with better recommendations. I come back on the OTT platform and I'm being given tailored recommendations regarding my taste while preserving my privacy. So we are Datavillage. Thank you for listening. Let's unlock the value of personal data together. Thank you.
I have first question. You're one of the first movers in this field. What are you going to do as a startup to make that market?
Yes, indeed. So in the field of decentralization of data and decentralized access, we are indeed in a market that is in the making and start to consolidate. How we demark from the competition is that we are about true decentralization. Most of the actors today, they are focusing on transferring the data from company A to company B, and then as company B, you receive the data, but you still have the charge of the data. So we unload companies from the charge saying, no, the data will remain on the user side, and we do computation of the data also on the user side. So we have built this intelligence layer on top of personal data stores that allows us not simply to transfer data, but to actually create actionable information that directly can enrich AI, such as recommendation systems.
Can I also? Is this a hard system to integrate with existing workflows?
No, it's very lightweight. Actually, we have almost, I won't say we have, but we have almost zero impact on the digital channels of our clients. You basically integrate through APIs, and everything is going on in the front end, since the AI and the backing system remains on our side and on the user side.
What would be the annual revenues from an ideal customer?
The annual revenues from that we would generate for the customers or for Datavillage?
That they will pay you.
So, yes, so we are based on a price per API calls. So basically, every time you query the digital profile of the end user, you make a call. So basically, it's based on the volume. So our customers can remain in control of basically the pricing, because it's based on how they use it actually. So we don't have a license fee that is fixed, but is really related to the volume that you generate behind, meaning the kind of structure that you are.
Okay. Time is over. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, and then next on stage, Utelly. Thank you.
Okay. That is not us. Yeah, all right. Right, I'm going to do without slides. So, I'm Utelly. We talk about television, but this is not my slide, so I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. But anyway, so I'm Roman. I'm the CEO and the co-founder of a company called Utelly. We have 2 entities, one in the UK and one in the Netherlands. We're 12 people. And in our line of business, we care about what we call content discovery cross-platform. And really, if you want to think about the interest of such a platform, this is not me, sorry, you have to think about churn, right? For content providers, for broadcasters, for OTT, the problem of churn is critical. They invest a ton of money in creating content or licensing content, and then their business model revolves on the return on investment. People stick, and you make revenue out of it. The challenges you have out of that is obviously when they churn, your business model falls apart. So in our line of business, what we've put together is an aggregation engine that combines all the metadata we can find around the assets that you are presenting to consumers. And by aggregating this metadata, we offer a layer for the ability to provide cross-service discovery. What that means is we're able to search and discover between TV, linear, on-demand, YouTube, podcasts, music, and so on. The idea being that we can become the focal point of discovery. And by having a focal point of discovery, we help the experiences being improved for the consumers. And in return, we help reduce the churn, which help drive the business for our clients. Now, and I'm sorry, there's no slide, so I'm going a bit all over the place. But in terms of adoption of such a system, I will pick 3 categories. Broadcasters, and I'll pick an example, Scottish television, broadcaster in the UK is using our technology. They give us their own metadata about their program, their lineups. We enrich it with AI, then we give it back to them alongside APIs for search and discovery, and they put it into their connected TV applications. That's the broadcaster paradigm. Then the media companies, one of our clients in Finland, Alma Media, has used our technology to pivot away from a traditional TV guide, printed, to an OTT and TV guide and cross-media discovery. Their challenge, obviously, is not to is the legacy systems based on linear television. Another one would be a TV set-top box company, NetGem, which is also one of our clients, which offers a TV as a service and needs us to scale their solution. They want to have the same product that works across countries. We offer a solution where you aggregate the content for the UK and you aggregate the content for the US and so on, and offer a single API for that. So all these people have in common that they are trying to have better products to reduce churn and increase retention, and they need our solution for this. So, in a nutshell, my slides are now up, so that's a bit late. But I'm gonna wrap up and really ask the real question here is like, churn matters. So the question is, are you gonna do something or not? And the answer is obviously yes, and you're gonna call and ask for my help. And I will ask for some help about slides as well. I can show you, look, there's a slide. Anyway, that's it.
Super. Yeah. We do PowerPoint karaoke in bars, but
always a good plan.
Very impressive. Yeah, we still are ahead of time. Yeah. So
I don't know. Come
okay,
on,
go ahead.
well done. It must have been hard. What proportion on a team is doing the sales versus still doing the product?
I'm the sales guy. Everybody else is doing product and AI and technology. Mm-hmm. So we are in the tough crush time of the scale-up who's trying to grow the product, grow the business at the same time, and one thing is giving up is definitely the marketing and sales angle for now.
Okay. How are your sales strategy?
Say again?
Sales strategy.
So, well, first we do a lot of referral and, I would say, referrals and discovery of customers through events like this and in the industry. The second is we have also a freemium model. So we use a platform, in our case it's called Rapid API, where we offer a free version of our APIs to be referenced, so it's SEM effectively, and then people come to us and say, okay, your API is cool, but it doesn't do this and this because I'm a broadcaster. Well, if you're a broadcaster, you shouldn't use the free API, you should use the real API. So that does lead generation for free to us. That's two strategies we use.
Mm. So and how long does it take to implement your solution, for example, for a broadcaster?
It depends a little bit on the data that they want us to use, but now we have productized the entire stack. So in the cloud, we point basically our engine to a folder that contains their data. We ingest it, 6 hours later it's ingested and enriched, push it back to them and indexed. Then obviously the challenge is if you want to have a smart TV with a fancy UI that does 20 calls to it, well, you're going to have to make those calls as a developer on their side. But the platform itself is fairly trivial to do.
I can imagine because you need a lot of metadata of the media companies, but one of the main problems of media companies is they don't have good metadata.
Yeah.
How do you cope with that?
So we understood this a few years ago, and what we did is we actually realized that we had to source metadata for ourselves first, and then come to the table and say, hey, you have metadata, but look, I already have TMDB, I already have IMDB, I already have vendor XYZ. I can bring them to the table. We made sub-licensing deals with these companies to then be able to bundle that data, pre-existing, with their data. And for STV, that's what we have. We let's say, give me 500 assets, combine it with 10,000, there's a bit of overlap. Now I can run models, and they're going to be much richer than what I would have done if I only had their 500 assets.
Okay. Did we reset the clock? All right. I think. Thanks a lot. So I'm not sure what happens to the slide. On my agenda now should be transition. Over there. Good luck.
First of all, thank you, Utelly, for the free advertising and the video of transition in your pitch. That was really much appreciated. So, my name is Vincent. I'm CEO, co-founder of Transition. Transition is a Belgium-based startup We're based in Ghent. I founded the company 2 years ago with my colleague who is filming now, Mike. And we're an early stage startup. So we are 4 people right now, growing into 6 and scaling fast in the next coming years. But before I explain more about transition and what we do in Stadium, I want to talk about Future Week, because there's a clear alignment, a clear fit with what we want to do and what Future Week wants to do. If you look at it, and my guess is, from Future Week, you want to inspire people, you want to show them the next big thing in media, because as we all know, the media industry is being disrupted. It will be disrupted in the future. So there's really a clear challenge for media companies to stay on top of all that information. And 2 weeks ago, I was in Hamburg. Same kind of event, future of media, all these media companies coming to learn more about the future of media, knowing what they need to do to anticipate change, and what they can do to apply and stay competitive in the future. Now, this is not only a media thing. For what we see is any company in the world is being disrupted. Any company in the world needs to know what will hit them in the future. In fact, it's even strategic importance for these companies if they want to stay relevant. And this is exactly what's also difficult for them, because how do you stay on top of a fast-changing world, a global change, and how do you know what will hit you, and how do you know how to anticipate that? And this is exactly what we want to do at Transition. So we're an AI-driven company. We use big data and AI to monitor, analyze, and predict trends. Which kinds of trends? All kinds of trends which impact companies. So basically what we do is we monitor global news, all kinds of diverse data sources. We apply that AI intelligence on top of those data sources so that we contextualize it, so that we can filter out the noise, find trends, and link it back to industries or even companies. And we use machine learning because we have a huge data set with patterns in there, and we use these patterns to be able to predict how these trends will evolve into the future. So that's transition. Now, what if there was a tool? What if there was like a strategic intelligence platform that media executives, people in strategy, working in innovation, working in business development, or even market research, which they could use to continuously assess future changes in the media industry? And this is exactly the value proposition that we're building within the Stadium program. So the next 6 months, we will develop a tool, a strategic intelligence platform, an online, cost-effective, efficient tool for these executives to stay on top of their market. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for a broad set of trends, all kinds of trends in media, beyond media, that are impacting the media industry. And we're going to look for proof points of strategy or innovation, which means is what's happening from a product perspective. Do we see new business models? What's happening from consumer behavior? Do we see change? Or do we see change happening in other industries that might impact the media industry in general? So really, this is the value proposition. If you're interested in that, contact me or follow us on LinkedIn. And that's the last that I want to say. So thank you.
Good, thank you. One question, so what you are doing, it's not basically for media industry, you can do it for any vertical, right? What are your competitors? Because I guess there are a lot.
There isn't really a specific competitor of what we do. So in a nutshell, what we do is we monitor news. There's competitors in that space, but the unique value proposition that we bring is that we have an intelligence layer on top that is built from the ground up to identify strategic challenges, strategic innovation challenges, and is looking for answers to answer that. And that's natural language process technology, which we are building from the ground up. So if you look at competitors, I can't give you anyone that's doing the same. You have some that are scouting startups. You probably know CB Insights or other these types of companies, but they only look at a small part of the innovation lifecycle. We tend to look really broad from what's going in academic worlds, what's happening in the startup industry, what's going on within specific verticals of industries, also beyond in ecosystems. And really looking broad is helping us translate back towards innovation and strategic executives what they need to do in the long term to anticipate change.
So the opportunity to scale is quite large because you can provide anybody.
Yeah, we're not. The opportunity is really big. In essence, that we're front runners and doing a technology innovation which isn't already happening in the market today. And we can also work with from a sales strategy perspective, with a partner network of market researchers, consultants, you name it, that they basically use our insights to help and advise their customers. So we can go direct to corporates, we can use a partner network, and scale basically worldwide. We're not linked to any industry or any specific region in the world.
How can you make sure that the time and the effort...
Time is up, sorry. We have to be fair to the others.
All right, no problem.
Sorry for that.
Thank you.
So one without any slide, one with one slide. I'm curious what comes next. But anyhow, welcome, Visualyst.
We'll see if this is working. My name is Miguel Silva. I'm the founder and CEO of Visualyst. We are a company that works with automated compliance reviews for the film and the TV industry. Eventually, we want to be a hub for anything that is compliance related for video. Discovering any element in video that may be difficult because of regulatory or legal compliance picture in any given market, we want to be that hub, that go-to place where you go and you analyze your video to be able then to determine if you can use it for a different geography or not. But we decided to start with the film and TV industry because of our background. I had the privilege of working for another Media City Bergen company in the past, and I used to be very present here in Bergen, even though I live in Oslo. And so now we are focused on this. I guess everybody in this building and everybody in this room knows that the world's appetite for video is only growing. The latest figure that I could find when I was doing my latest pitch deck for an investor pitch deck over the summer was that we are up to 6.5 hours of video consumption every day for every human in this planet. 6.5 hours. That goes across all the distribution methods, whether it's broadcast television, whether it's streaming, whether it's TikTok, whether it's YouTube, whatever it may be. I don't know about you guys, but I just open up TikTok to see what it is, and I'm like, this isn't for me. And all of a sudden, well, it isn't for me, but I've been on it for 40 minutes now. So the appetite is only growing. What people don't know is that the formalities that go around distributing video are actually it's a very regulated environment when it comes to film and television. You have all sorts of different things that you need to consider, either legal requirements that you have in any given market or regulatory. Editorially, whether you're allowed to show X amounts of violence in a movie, and what is the rating for this asset that you should have based on the alcohol and drugs that you can find consumption within it, animal abuse, is there any elements to that? There's all sorts of different requirements, and the regulation varies around the world. So because of that, it actually is a very large manual job right now to be able then to do all these different analysis and publish video around the world. So what we do is we provide a web service that simplifies the entire process, that basically brings the entire workflow into one place, so that the QA managers within a broadcaster would be able then to create the policy. That's the first start in our process. You create the policy where you say, I want to analyze a policy for this type of audience, or I want to create the policy maybe for this type of specific regulation. And there is a fair amount of, Europe is actually leading the way in regulation when it comes to protecting different audiences across all different consumption types, even across YouTube. So in this tool, basically, you create your policy, and then you can start analyzing either individual videos or entire catalogs. And then you can start looking at the results. You can start checking things are either compliant or they're non-compliant. You still need to have humans moderating that type of decision because AI is not good enough. AI is great for discovering, and so we use a bouquet of different AI detection models to find everything that may be problematic, but the humans are still in charge, deciding this is okay, this is not okay, et cetera, et cetera. And then the last thing that we do is we bring a collaborative framework on top of that, because that is part of the problem today, is that there is very little collaboration across the people that make the productions, the people that distribute them, and very often there's a lot of back and forth between these companies before a single asset can be published out into the market. So we bring collaboration into the picture, very similar to Google Docs. You just tag somebody, you comment on a specific aspect of the video. If they have access to the tool, they can come straight into that one scene and make their comments and change the compliance picture. And then we, of course, automate the entire compliance report, because that's something that nobody likes to do. Nobody likes to make their compliance reports once they're done with their analyzing their asset. Over time, we're hoping that we can collect so much data that we will also become an insights tool. We will start giving back very valuable information to content managers, for example, that, okay, I'm licensing a lot of content that's supposed to be child-friendly, but all of a sudden I'm realizing that it's actually not that child-friendly. So that's essentially what we do today. I see that I'm out of time, but very happy to answer your questions, and feel free to make contact if you want to talk more about this.
The jury, please.
So what's the current cost for your ideal customer when they don't integrate something like your product does?
So currently, the cost for them is to do it manually, and so the cost varies a bit around the world. But you know, one of our customers told us, for example, that currently it costs them about $100 to review an asset, irregardless of the complexity in that asset. And so they're looking at ways of maybe discovering more with less.
So you're just saving the labor costs?
You're saving the labor cost, and you're saving in time.
Okay.
And you're doing more.
So does this mean you have no competition?
Our biggest competitor is business as usual, because at the end of the day, everybody is doing compliance already. So yes, 9 out of 10 times we're competing against the existing workflow. Mm-hmm. But our argument is, with this tool, you can do more. With the people that you already have now, you can process more, you can publish more, you can do better.
Is this hard to integrate regarding all the metadata shifting back and forth?
Well, we are discovering that there's, of course, various degrees of sophistications between customers. Right now, the tool that we have is 100% cloud-based. Of course, the top-level broadcasters, they want to have very tight integrations with their MAMs. So we're thinking about then splitting into a basic cloud service and a pro version of the tool, which will have then all sorts of different integrations, and maybe even its own training pipeline, so that we can deliver the detections like everything out of the box, but you can actually train them with different brands if you're doing brand recognition, etc.
Who do you talk to convince they need your solution in the company?
So in many markets, it's actually quite clear-cut. You do have QA departments or compliance departments out in Asia, particularly out in the US. The UK is quite big with compliance departments and stuff like that. In other parts of the world, usually the content departments are the place to start. Yeah.
Okay. Super. Thank you. Oh wow! Now it's a duet. Nowtilus coming up, and oh, really, 2 people. I thought it's a good joke, but hey, you never know.
Hey, folks of the Future Week, here at Media City Bergen. Welcome. Do you hear my natural voice? Sounds close, doesn't it? But I have to disappoint you. I'm not a real human being, but generated by an algorithm. The good thing about me is that I will obey you and not contradict you. I will say what you write me and speak every word. I'll help you to sell cars, food, parfum, flowers, love tools, furniture, vacations, toothpaste, beer, chips, chocolate, insurances. Any wish you want to create. I'm Creative Circles of Nowtilus, the revolution of audio advertisement. Just become a part of me.
Hi, welcome. My name is Leander. And I'm Patrick, and we are both co-founders and managing directors of Nowtilus. For us as a company, video advertisement and advertisement itself has always been an incredible and exciting topic due to its significant impact on people's opinion and desire for products and services. But everybody is exposed to thousands of ads each day. While trying to decrease this massive amount, we as an industry are forced to increase its relevance instead. With our server-side AI technology, we are broadly deployed server-side AI platform for the streaming market, for OTT and CTV. We help broadcasters like Discovery or telcos, operators like A1 Telecom to monetize their inventory for millions of users for addressable ads in linear TV or OTT. But audio is next. Inspired by the huge relevance of audio and deep discussions with radio stations, we have learned how we can monetize radio and audio streaming in the near future. Personalized audio will provide a new level of guidance in our technology-driven world, and it influences all areas of our daily life.
But the audio and radio market has challenges and opportunities as well. The market, in our eyes, is extremely undervalued. For example, take Germany, the third biggest market in Europe. We have only 2 media agencies controlling almost 100% of the market of 650 million euros. But this market, if you can bring it to an
you can triple the revenue when you open it up. That's what the prediction says. Professional audio spot creation is still quite costly and only offered by expensive agencies for large brands with deep pockets. We think by enabling AI-based tools to create stunning spots in near real time, we will change the way companies can market in audio. And the third topic, the radio market is very restricted and not affordable for small and medium-sized enterprises. By providing the capability to market locally will allow millions of companies to advertise within any budget.
Therefore, we came up with the concept of creative circles, an advertisement and marketing approach for addressable audio. We will enhance our server-side technology with full audio and radio support. We allow to monetize any live and podcast stream seamless with our personalized audio ads.
I think we missed one slide. It's, okay, whatever. In addition, you heard in the beginning, we also provide an audio spot creator, which finally allows creating spots on the fly in real time. And we also will provide a marketplace, which finally brings buyers and sellers together to allow localized advertisement in the near region. Thank you very much.
I'm interested in how do you relate to parties like AdSwiss and Target Spot. If a client has already chosen for that solution, is it something that they combine with your solution, or do they choose between the two?
So with our ad insertion itself, it's complementary. With the, I would say, future topics we're currently deploying with the marketplace, we are competing with AdSwiss. But what we also learned from a lot of German clients, they like to be more independent from AdSwiss. So they're looking for alternatives.
Yeah, so that would be my next question. How can you convince them to choose for your solution?
We've already won with our corporate 3 national radio streams who decided not to go with AdSwiss, but build this together with us.
Mm-hmm.
At places like this, I'm always honored because I know that some of you guys, maybe you, will be the next unicorns, and I'll be here to meet you so early. What's your go-to-market strategy? How do you get clients?
So actually, we have 3 market strategies. So one is the direct sales approach. So it's contacting customers, like operators, like broadcasters, or like OTT platforms, like radio stations, like podcast providers, for example. So the second strategy is to go via an affiliate program. Like we are talking to networks, and we try also to convince our network partners. We are an open ecosystem, and all the different components in the system are possible facilitator of our service. And the third approach to the market is a strategic approach. So we work with certain resellers of our solution. They have deeply integrated our technology into their product portfolio and go to the market and to their customers.
So in the video space, this is, for example, Red Bee from Ericsson we signed a deal with. We have signed recently a deal with Comcast, who resell us. So we have some large partners who already sell our video solution, and we look for the same in audio now.
Sorry, I have to interrupt now. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, and as we all know, time flies when you're having fun. This is the last pitch for today, and it's Deep VA.
Thank you so much, guys. Last but not least, I'm really hoping for the recency effect here. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Alex from Deep VA, and yeah, we're here at Media City Bergen. So you guys all know that AI is a major success factor for media companies, right? We all know that. The options, possibilities, use cases are almost endless. And who knows, maybe AI is going to replace all of our jobs one day. I'm pretty sure that there are some people that would not be too sad about it, actually. All kidding aside, let me give you a few examples just to set the scene here. So, AI recognition services, they should be able to recognize everything in your footage, right? In this case, this is the Bergen mayor, Marte Mjøs Persen. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right, actually. She isn't identified here. Or in this case, you know, there is some recognition. There is something recognized in her necklace, some numbers, or even some Chinese paragraphs in her teeth. So that's not really helpful. Or in this case, we have a building here, and there is some metadata, gray color, defensive structure, fortress. But that's not really metadata that you can use right out of the box, right? Where I'm going with this. So, pre-trained AI models often don't really offer the anticipated value. And that has many reasons. Media companies, they have very specific use cases in terms of regional personalities, in terms of local buildings, in terms of you know, local brands, sport clubs, companies. So they need some means of customizing the AI to their specific needs. The thing about AI customization is that it's often really complex, it's often really expensive, and it takes a lot of time to develop, actually. And this is where we come into play. We are Deep VA, a computer vision AI platform. And of course, we offer pre-trained models like, you know, face recognition, we have object and scene recognition, we have landmark recognition. But more importantly, we give the user all the tools that he needs to really customize their AI to their specific needs. So in this case, you see Marte Mjøs Persen. You upload one single image of her, and she gets added to his data set, and then a new AI model can be trained based on that data, which then can in turn be again used in visual analysis. So in terms of AI customization, we really have training, data set management, data set evaluation, and all that. The best thing about it is you don't have to be an AI expert to use it. You can be a regular end user, and no machine learning knowledge is required. We found out that you could cut costs and time by 90% in terms of training data acquisition and also labeling time, obviously. You can use Deep VA either in the cloud or on-premise, and it's easily integratable via RESTful API. And of course, it's 100% GDPR compliant. So our vision here at Deep VA is really to make AI customization accessible for every media company in the simplest and most intuitive way possible. I'm super happy to answer all of your questions. Thank you very much.
Who starts?
I had some questions, but he answered them.
I do. You noticed I always ask about sales.
Yeah.
And, so, how do you reach out to your customers, and what's the annual revenues per customer you're hoping to get?
So obviously we're reaching out via cold acquisition. We make calls. We have quite a good network in terms of public broadcasters in Germany. You know, they are organized in a structure so that we're already doing projects with some of them, so we already have a name there. And one method that we do, obviously, is doing demo calls. We show them our software. We show them how easy it is to really work with training data. And that is the way we're trying to really acquire new customers. Yeah, demo calls, that's the best way, yeah.
Why do you think that media as a vertical is the right vertical to grow and to scale?
Obviously, there are other use cases. You're perfectly right. There is the industrial sector that it could also use AI in, or computer vision AI. That's true. Or we have the security sector, which is a big sector too. So we see that media companies, you know, like like Miguel already said, like video production and video consumption is absolutely going through the roof, and that's where we thought to put really our target market at first.
What is then the next plan? Do you know already?
Well, our CEO is in the back there. He's happy to answer all those questions too. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, so I think that's a pretty good market. So the public broadcasting sector, alone the ARD in Germany, they have 1.5 million hours of video footage that needs to be analyzed and where metadata needs to be extracted. And it's the second largest public broadcaster in the world. So we do really see some potential there already. Yep. And then we see about the next steps, I guess.
Can I just add one? Yeah, I just reframe my question because I saw a lot of brands that were in Germany, but I can imagine that you have plans to go abroad to Europe.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
How will you do that?
Yeah, we're trying to, I mean, we use those events for that, and we hope in the future that those events are going to be open in not only Norway, but also in Germany as well, or in other countries. And yeah, Belgium is a great company to start with. We have opportunities in France, really. So, but obviously at the moment we're really concentrating on the German, Austrian, and Swiss market.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Give me that thing. So this was the last pitch. Before the jury is taking this harsh decision, I would really love to say thank you to all of the teams. I mean, I assume that no one of you has been on a pitch stage for the last 2 years. Maybe some of the teams haven't been found at that time. But so very well done, guys. And maybe we can get an extra applause for the whole group of the 8 teams. What's up next? The jury will make a decision who's the winner of that contest. They will need roughly 10 minutes for that, maximum, maybe they are faster. So get up, grab a beer, but stay close, and we will be back here in roughly 10 minutes. Thank you. We are back, and I think we have a winner, but I don't know him. There's one thing I have to explain, which looks like the ugly sweater contest. It has a special reason because we thought about what is the prize worthy for the winner of this, and so the idea was the winner gets a set with specialties from every country from the 4 hubs. So Norway, I would guess, Estonia, Germany, and Brussels. So Brussels obviously has a lot of chocolate in. Germany, we are well known to be efficient and so on, so our parcel didn't arrive in time. There was a really famous gin made in Hamburg in it. I hope it will show up here and then somehow will be sent over. If not, we will send a second bottle. I have some of them in my office. Okay. Now, the suspense is killing us. Peter from UT will tell us who's the winner of this, well, collection.
Yes. Yes. So after, what was it, 50 minutes and a big discussion, I think that we have the winner. So what we saw on stage was somebody with humor, presenting in a very, very natural way, bringing a big story and a good story, with a great product that really takes in account the biggest change in media right now, or one of the biggest changes. And they have a very scalable product. So the winner of this afternoon is Transition. Woo! Congratulations. Congratulations.
I heard it's possible to change sizes.
Let me check.
Oh, give it a try.
Well, I like it, thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations.
We also have a special question from the jury. It was Heike who asked me, what did you predict who would win this afternoon?
Excuse me?
What was your prediction who would win this afternoon?
I already knew that it was us. I let her. That was why I wasn't even nervous to come to stage.
All right, all right.
Of course. The probability was high that we would win.
Yeah. All right.
Super.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy.
Thank you. I think that's it. Okay, we're done. Have a nice evening.